SLC USA, fitness that you can do with your kids. I want you, moms and dads, to be able to just play smart. Whenever you are playing with your kids, which they need that interaction, obviously, I want to help you find a way where you can get a workout and you can teach your kids some skills that are going to help condition their muscles and really give them the advantage in sports. So that's what we're doing today. All right, SLC USA, back at you, but I got a much better field today. You gotta take a look. This is turf that is designed to not hurt your body. It's the most wonderful thing. This is the type of turf you want to find if you're going to do any type of running or jumping. You want to find the most soft ground you can find. All right, so we're going to do our circuit. We're going to do our running circuit, and so we can get warmed up. Before we even do that, we need to do stretching. So let's do a little stretching first. All right, so let's set up our circuit. Remember, we're going to do our line of cones. Jumping. First, we're just going to warm up our legs and we're going to do jumping. So remember, whenever you do your jumping, use your whole body. Start like a spring, bend your knees. You're going to use your arms to drive yourself up. If you reach forward, you're going to go forward. If you go up, straight up with your arms, you're going to jump straight up. Remember, when you start your jump, you need to make sure your legs are right underneath your shoulders, shoulder length apart. All right, so now when you set up your cones for your zigzags, the more tight, the closer they are together, the harder it is to zig and zag. Very important. You want to work on that changing direction. Now remember, with side steps, keep your feet sliding with a space in between. Remember, nose over your toes, keep your head up or you're gonna fall. Now when you do your running, make sure that you're not stiff. If you hold your muscles tense in your back, you're gonna feel very stuck. Relax your muscles in your neck and in your back. Allow your shoulders to rotate as you're running. You're gonna feel like it's so much easier. I better conserve my energy because I'm about to do a bunch of running. And you have to be able to run backwards just as good as you can run forward. Remember, nose over your toes, keep your feet open, slide. You're sliding your feet, keeping your head up, and if you need the cones as a guide, make sure there's a line there so you can use your peripheral vision. Another great way to practice the fundamentals for soccer is actually using the cones. You got to get really good at using your feet without looking down. So by knocking the cone over and then standing it back up with your feet is helping to work on that eye-foot coordination. So like this. It's a lot more fun if you have a bunch of cones to do this with, but for my demonstration purposes, I have two. Now I'm going to practice knocking the cone over with my instep, which is how you dribble. You keep the ball in your instep, and it's also how you kick a soccer ball is with your instep and turn your shoulders and point. But let's focus on just that fundamental footwork for maintaining control over the soccer ball. So, step, kick. So I would be continuing through, right? I'm trying not to kick the cone hard. On this one, we're going through the motions, and we're doing it in the form of kicking with both feet and just knocking the cone over as if we were dribbling. So basically just not as much movement with your shoulders. Your shoulders are always moving. You control your power on how hard you kick or really do anything with how dramatically you turn your shoulders. Now I want to stand it back up. I'm switching feet. Now how I bent my knee, you don't want to do that. You want to keep your legs straight. Now try to do it with your head up. Just using your peripheral vision. And feel, all right? And then you can work on full kicks. So I stacked them up so they won't go as far. It's a lot easier to kick a cone true than it is to kick a ball, so it's a great way to start. Left foot. Right foot. Small ball, big ball. Same thing, okay? So remember you're dribbling, your instep. When you trap, trapping is balance, getting the ball down to the ground so you can control it. You can use your head, you can use every part of your body except for your hands. So if kids are gonna probably, grown-ups, I mean, my entire life I've grown up with sports, so I think my brain and muscle memory is trained a long time ago to not catch a soccer ball and to catch a baseball. But at first, I think the inclination is going to be to try to catch every ball, especially if it's coming at your head. So, to do arms behind your back is a good idea, but what you don't want to do is start to get stiff. You got to keep your muscles relaxed, otherwise you're not going to be able to move. So you can certainly trap and do anything you need to do with soccer with your arms behind your back, but don't tense up. Now, how I'm lifting my leg up, that would be more of like trying to push the ball down with your knees. You want to maintain control of your body. You want to make sure your body is always aligned. You don't want to make movements that are going to take you off balance. You want to stay aligned with your movements. So as the ball was coming to me, I'm basically trying to catch it with my body. As it's coming in, I'm essentially relaxing my muscles so that I can move in such a way that it falls right at my feet. Whether it be my head or whatever part of my body ends up initially touching the ball, I just need to be directed it down to my feet, because that's where you're going to be able to control the ball and move. So it's a lot easier to work on headers and these kinds of things with a ball that's small and soft, because soccer balls are hard and big and you got to develop a little bit of a acquired taste for getting hit in the head with anything. Now, I didn't want to headbutt the ball, because then the ball is going to go away from me. The idea is to get the ball down, unless there's a defender, someone right here that I don't want the ball to be in front of me or that person, then trying to hit it away, that's a different story. But typically you're trying to catch the ball with your body. I didn't do anything with that. And then you're going after the ball to get your foot on it to trap, and then you can change direction and go where you need to go. That's what you're working towards. And then you can do direct throws if you're working with someone where, high, so you can hit it with your head down to the ground, or directly at you, so you can practice not flinching but catching the ball with your body. And then move to a bigger ball. Ow. So the higher you throw the ball up, the harder it's going to come down on your head. So when you're working with someone, just right in front of you to your head, push it down is a good place to start. Down to the ground. You're supposed to use your hands. No, don't use your hands. What are you doing? You want to incorporate a soccer ball into your zigzag pattern and constantly be trying to control the ball. Especially if you really like soccer, then you need to be an excellent soccer ball handler without looking down and being able to keep your body relaxed and able to move from point to point on demand. So the ball goes through my feet and I'm turning to keep the ball in front of me. I know where the ball is by feel, not by looking at it. always want to be very cognizant about your position. Your athletic position needs to be shoulder length apart, not overextended, not off balance, not bent too much, not stiff. Slightly bent, feet underneath your shoulders, then you're in a good position to be able to move. Again, using my whatever part of my body besides my hands to get it to the ground. Knees, and then you can start to learn how to keep the ball up in the air without using your hands. It's juggling with your feet. It's actually a great way to just get the hang of where the ball's supposed to hit your feet. If you drop the ball and move your instep to it, it's a lot easier than off the ground. The reason it's easier than off the ground is because what's challenging about all sports and sports that require a swing of any sort, swing of your legs, swing of a bat, swing of a golf club, is you got to be able to rotate your body without moving your head. Whatever you do, you want to constantly be working on this ability. It will give you an advantage. It's probably, in my opinion, the single most important thing that you can do to impact your ability, your what would seem to be natural ability. You can barely even tell if someone is not relaxing their upper back muscles and this tension. You can't even really tell, unless it's super exaggerated, that they're just not using their core muscles. So you want it to be muscle memory for you, that your body will stay relaxed in your core. You can rotate your shoulders without moving your head. That will allow you to be able to kick a ball farther, hit a ball, actually be able to hit it in the first place. If you can't keep your head straight, you're gonna have a hard time kicking a soccer ball, hitting a baseball, hitting a golf ball especially, for sure. So I like this drill where you drop the ball on your instep and then it goes up in the air. Again, if you're not good about controlling your body and your hands and you have a tendency to catch the ball, then have someone drop it for you and never try to catch it. You can feel the difference when it's on your toe or on instep. And that's why this drill is good. So left foot, right foot. Because now we're going to work on kicking. So those are our targets. You always want to have a target whenever you are trying to work on accuracy, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to swing through and we're going to try to knock one cone over at a time, starting from my right to left, so that I have some accountability here, right? Because I do have editing abilities. So now when I kick through, make sure you notice that I keep my legs straight and that I'm directing the ball with my shoulders and essentially pointing where I want it to go. That's going to help control your body, because the more you whip around, the more the ball is going to go that direction. I'll show you first by trying to actually hit the far left one, and then I'll do my game, right to left. And that's the thing, is you want to make this fun. Everything should be in a game format for kids, because they're going to engage more when it feels like a game. So you can make up names for this. Call whatever, come up with these names for your different activities with your kids, and they'll take ownership and they'll be all over. They will want to do it so much that that's what they'll be begging you for. And that's a good thing. Ball on there. Okay. So I'm stepping beside the ball as I kick through. I'm not stepping right next to it. I'm stepping so you would have like a foot in between, because you have to be able to plant and then turn your shoulders and swing your legs straight. So wherever that is for you. All right. See how I turn my shoulders and I whip the ball all the way over to Never Never Land. I love to use medicine balls. Medicine balls are great because they just feel a lot more natural than dumbbells. So they're great for working your core muscles. You can twist with them. Just throwing them up and catching is great for your middle and your arms. And doing real big throws. It's working on the fast twitch muscles. Start with it high and go behind your head. I highly recommend getting a medicine ball, even for kids. Small medicine balls are great for them to play with, work, and develop those muscles in a way that's not going to hurt them, and it's going to be fun. Really important. But let's do a swing. So now I'm going to show you a swing with a golf club, a baseball bat, and a tennis racket. The swings are a little bit different, but I want you to see the difference. But the most important thing is I want you to see how my midsection, my core, is able to rotate independent of my head. You have to be able to keep your head straight to be able to hit a ball, hit a baseball or a tennis ball, really. You have to be able to maintain your head's position, watching the ball, and create your power from rotating your shoulders. That's the trick that most people never learn. So let me show you. Let's do baseball first. All right, I got myself a plastic bat. I would avoid anything that could break stuff if you're going to be doing this with your kids, this is what I want you to do. So a plastic bat helps to protect you and protect other stuff. So now you obviously want to move to regular material bats as you go through the different levels of the sport. But for the fundamentals of how to swing a baseball bat, this is perfect. So you want to make sure, like always, for any type of athletic movement, you need to have your feet underneath your shoulders. That's super important. That's going to help you be balanced. You always want to have your knees a little bent. So it's going to be critical for baseball that you get your elbow high. Your elbow has to be higher, your back elbow. So if you're left-handed, then if you're right-handed, then your right elbow is going to be higher than your left elbow. If you are left-handed, then your left elbow will be higher than your right elbow. And the fundamentals are the same. So I'm right-handed, but I'll go ahead and do this swing left-handed, because all I'm doing is testing my own suggestions here. Elbow up, chin down. So now watch, I can rotate my shoulders back to get more power, right? So the more I rotate my shoulders, the more power I can create. Keep my head straight and rotate my shoulders around my core. Elbow up, chin down, watch the ball. But when I hit, I keep my head straight and I rotate my shoulders around my core. Let's get a ball. Give me a ball! All right, so wiffle balls are great for working on just basic hitting skills in your backyard. You're gonna not break anything, you may lose a couple, but they're perfect. And when you throw them with more velocity, they're gonna move a little bit like a baseball would. But for just the purpose of getting used to the swing, that's a lot of times where you would use a tee. I don't necessarily suggest a tee. I think it's better to actually always be working on a throw, even if it's showing the ball before you throw. So keep having the ball in your hand like this, where the ball is exposed. When you're throwing the ball, typically, especially if you're pitching, you're going to turn the ball away from where you're throwing, and you're going to rotate your shoulders around to throw the ball. But for the purpose of allowing your kid to be able to actually hit the ball, you want them to see the ball and then throw. The tee is a great way for them to get used to keeping their elbow up and swinging around their core. I like when you can get something hanging. You can get a wiffle ball or a tennis ball hanging, and then you can hit it from there. And it's actually quite a bit of fun. But I'll show you just a toss. Now, I am going to do it like this. Woo! Home run! Elbow up, chin down, shoulders rotate. Okay? Baseball. All right, golf. Golf, this is a very challenging sport because it's even more dependent upon being able to keep your head straight, rotating your body around your core, but everything has to stay planted and your middle has to do most of the twisting and turning. So when you do a golf swing, the first thing I suggest you do to practice is rotating your shoulders, just to kind of feel your shoulders rotate with the club in your hand. Because you don't want to shimmy, you need to rotate your shoulders. If you shimmy, then you're going to hit the ball all over the place, or not even hit the ball at all. Certainly if you move your head, then you won't hit a ball. I promise you. So you rotate your shoulders and then release. Rotate your shoulders and release. Keeping your knees bent, feet shoulder length apart. Okay, from here, you're going to do the same rotation, but then you're going to get the club up. So it's a little bit different when you're using different club lengths. Driver versus a wedge is going to be a different swing. I'm not a golf pro. I'm just teaching you about this basic swing, because just practicing swings is good for your muscles, and it's, you know, it's nice to be able to do something different. So when you're trying to learn new sports, you want to learn the fundamentals that are going to allow you to be able to get some momentum and not hate what you're doing. Golf can be like that. Once you start to get momentum and you have the fundamentals mastered, then you can move on to, you know, getting a coach involved and work on the, you know, the details of the sport. So rotate my shoulders. This time club up, rotate through. Rotate shoulders, club up, keeping my head straight, right? Don't move your legs, run. And you can use small wiffle balls to practice golf. Super fun. Wiffle ball, golf ball. Golf and the racket sports. So the racket sports, you're going to be starting with the racket in front of you, and then you will rotate your shoulders and hit the ball. So there's different angles that you want to hold the club, but the fundamental of the swing stays the same. So if it's a backhand, which is going to be not your strong side, it's going to be the other side. Ball comes over here, I'm rotating my shoulders and swinging through. You get both directions. You want to get your feet turned like you're swinging a baseball bat, because then you can shift your weight from your back foot to your front foot. With baseball, you want to make sure that you're keeping your weight on your back foot, and then as you hit the ball, you're going to rotate through. When you are swinging the bat to get more power, and you need to get the bat around quickly because as you go through the levels, the ball's going to move faster. So you need to have a fast bat. The only way to do that is to make sure that you're rotating your shoulders, but you have to step as soon as the ball is released. So as soon as the ball is released, my weight, which is mostly on my back leg, is going to push forward, and I'm going to step. That's going to give me extra power as I move through the ball. Remember, keeping my head still, elbow up, shoulders rotate, step, swing. Left-handed. All right, SLC USA. We are doing a workout. We're going to be working on mostly core, but all of my exercises will always include your entire body. That's just the way I roll. It's got to have cardio and it's got to work your body, or it's you're not getting the ROI that I want if I'm going to be working hard. But we're going to make it super fun. Coming right up.
Strike three.
Never.
Down slow outside corner.
Yeah, never.
Get high.
No.
Yeah. Don't jump up
Don't
on
have to say
That low one's getting you. That's a good swing. Yeah, that last one was, yeah. Sorry, that one right around your knees. Yeah, lucky. Alright, let's put padding on those. I'm gonna run you up on that one too.
I doubt that.
You feel that?
Well, my arms get long and they go down.
Yeah, on that low pitch.
Yeah.
You gotta figure that out.
But everything else, it goes from like here to here. On the low ones, they go down like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like a
see,
big-
yeah, if it's low, you have to get down.
Yeah.
You have to get down that back leg a little lower.
Yeah.
You can't hit that ball standing straight up.
Well, I'm standing straight up. I just always think that.
You're coming up. You're not using your legs at all on that.